We're back for our second and, for now, final adventure at the Dallas Zoo. Last time, we covered the impressive wilds of Africa, a 35-year-old complex that has stood the test of time remarkably well and sets itself apart with its diverse lineup of species from many different habitats. Today, we'll be completing our tour of the Africa half of the zoo with the Giants of the Savanna, opening exactly 20 years after the wilds of Africa in May 2010. The 11-acre Giants of the Savanna remedied one of the zoo's flaws by moving their lions, giraffes, and elephants from outdated exhibits to new, state-of-the-art homes. While the complex's concept is more typical of what you can find at many other zoos, as you'll see, it sets itself apart with its quality. So, let's begin. After passing through the tunnel to Africa and saying hello to the zoo's penguins and cheetahs, you're left with three options for how to continue your journey. The right path will lead you to the Simmons Hippo Outpost, while straight ahead lies the Gorilla Research Station, and to the left is the massive overhead arch transporting you to the Giants of the Savanna. Starting on the right side of the complex, our first stop is the Tembo Udango, the smaller of the two elephant yards, complete with a 150,000-gallon pool and a unique enrichment structure modeled after a strangler fig tree. Hanging out in the Udango, I saw the zoo's adult bull Tendaji enjoying some time alone. Tendaji arrived in Dallas in 2016 as part of a group of 17 elephants who were relocated from an overcrowded area of the Lane National Park in Swaziland, where the high population was putting the elephants at risk with limited resources available due to drought. From the right vantage point, the Udango blends together to appear as one space with the South habitat, 2.5 acres of rolling hills and banks fronted by another large pool. This is where you can expect to find the rest of the zoo's elephant herd. The Dallas Zoo is currently home to 8 African elephants. We already met Tendaji, but you'll also find 6 adult females. There's the zoo's 4 golden girls, who are all over the age of 40. The oldest, Jenny, was born in the wild in 1976 and has lived at the Dallas Zoo since 1986. Before the Giants of the Savanna opened, Jenny was the zoo's lone elephant, but in 2009 she was joined by Gypsy, the youngest of the Golden Girls, at only 43 years old. The following year, the herd doubled its size with the additions of Congo and Kamba, who came to the zoo from a private owner for the Giants of the Savanna's opening in 2010. The younger females, Lilo and Zola, both estimated to be 21 years old, were part of the same group as Tendaji that relocated from Lane National Park in 2016. Finally, the last member of the herd is Okubili, the only elephant at the zoo who was actually born in human care, right here in Dallas to Mother Lilo on February 26, 2023, and at 2 years old, is still small enough to elicit those familiar cries of delight from the crowds. It should come as no surprise given their size that elephants have a huge impact on the world around them. Herds of elephants shape the landscape by knocking down trees to create clearings and dispersing seeds to promote new plant growth. They also create water holes by digging up dried up riverbeds, which benefits other species. While we're all familiar with an elephant's loud trumpet, these giants have many other methods of communication as well. For example, elephants can emit low-frequency rumbles that we are unable to hear, but which can travel for miles through the ground, allowing them to communicate with distant herd members. Moving to the left, the South habitat flows seamlessly into the North habitat, the more diverse of the two, where you may find up to 6 species. There's Hartmann's mountain zebras and greater Kudu, both of which I did not see. You'll find 3 female ostriches, one of whom is apparently a Somali or blue-necked ostrich. Found in East Africa, they were originally considered to be a subspecies of the common ostrich, but were upgraded to become the second distinct species of ostrich in 2014. Scurrying around beneath them, look for helmeted guineafowl and the less common Vulturine guineafowl, the largest species of guineafowl named for their bald head and neck, which resemble a vulture. Finally, the hardest to miss are the reticulated giraffes. While I'm not sure how often this actually happens, if it does at all anymore, what makes the Giants of the Savannah such a special exhibit is that the north and south habitats were designed to be combined as one space, making the Dallas Zoo the first facility in North America to successfully mix elephants and giraffes in a mixed species exhibit. The world's largest and tallest land mammals walking together in one space, an incredible sight to behold. Like the south habitat, the north habitat also has a smaller attached space. In this case, you'll find some of the zoo's giraffes spending their time in the giraffe feeding habitat, which, as the name implies, is your opportunity to meet these towering but gentle giants up close. The Dallas Zoo has celebrated a number of giraffe births in recent years, including 2 in 2024, with Kacheko born April 1st, followed by Mopani on August 22nd. The 2 baby boys joined their older sisters Nia and Cora as the youngsters in the herd, which also includes the calves' father Tobogo, mothers Katie and Crystal, and a second adult male named Five. Placed in the middle of the complex are 2 adjacent dried-up riverbeds. Once you would have found red river hogs, but now both habitats are home to the more familiar warthog. Until recently, the zoo's band of hogs included Takiti, born here in Dallas in February 2023. After a slow start at life, she received special care from zoo staff and quickly became a fan favorite, enthralling the Dallas Zoo community with her silly antics for a year and a half, before moving last summer to Utah's Ogle Zoo. Despite what you'd expect from a wild pig, warthogs are actually keen on keeping themselves clean. They groom each other much like primates, only using their teeth instead of hands. Sometimes they will pawn off the hard work to other species, letting birds, mongooses, and even monkeys groom them in exchange for a tasty meal of bugs. Paralleling the savannas on the opposite side of the main pathway is a line of 3 habitats built into a small hillside for the savanna's predators. The right habitat originally opened with cheetahs, but in 2019 they moved down the path to the wilds of Africa and were replaced by African painted dogs, marking the species' return to Dallas after a 57-year absence. Before going hunting, painted dog packs perform what is called a rally, which is essentially their version of psyching themselves up. Initiated by a single member of the pack, these rallies involve a lot of excited running around and greetings between members, but have a surprisingly political nature, as the dogs seem to be voting on whether or not to go hunting in the form of sneezes. The more sneezing that occurs, the more likely the pack will go hunting. Rallies are also more likely to lead to a hunt if they are initiated by a high-ranking member of the pack. The middle predator habitat is a rotational space where you may see the painted dogs or the African lion taking part in the predator encounter demonstration. If you don't find a lion in the middle exhibit, look for them in their own habitat placed right next to the Serengeti Grill so that you can literally dine with the lions. More specifically, you can say hi to the zoo's multi-generational pride, which includes 16-year-old sisters Lena and Jasiri. Back in 2017, Lena gave birth to a single female cub named Bahati, who was the first Dallas-born lion in 43 years. In 2020, the zoo brought in Kajani, a young male from the Fresno Chaffee Zoo, to be Bahati's mate, and the pair evidently hit it off since it took less than a year for Bahati to give birth to a litter of 3 cubs, who have since grown up and moved on to new facilities on breeding recommendations of their own. In 2011, the Giants of the Savannah won the AZA Exhibit Award for Significant Achievement, and in 2015, it was voted as the 3rd best zoo exhibit in the nation by USA Today. Coupled with the connected wilds of Africa, the Giants of the Savannah without a doubt makes the Dallas Zoo one of the top places in the nation to view African wildlife. Thank you for watching.